Hello beautiful people, Dawn your tarot teacher here. Join me now as we begin our ascent, seeking to understand the universal laws through the sacred lens of the Justice card. Justice holds the central position in the Major Arcana, acting as the pivot point and mediator among all the other keys. She is the sacred arbiter of alignment, weighing and negotiating what serves the highest good of all. If the Wheel of Fortune is the portal to ascension, the gate through which the soul turns, then Justice is its guardian, standing watch with sword and scales. This archetype calls us to take responsibility for our thoughts, words and deeds, reminding us of the laws of karma and the immutable principles of cause and effect. Justice teaches discernment, to treat others fairly, to ensure we are treated fairly, and to live in accordance with both universal law and worldly law. Her presence demands integrity, balance, and conscious choice. This card is number 11 in the Major Arcana. 11 is the first of the master numbers, a mystical vibration created when a single digit is repeated in sequence. Here, the repetition of the number 1 amplifies its qualities: initiation, the divine spark, and the process of individuation, the soul's journey toward wholeness, self-realization, and alignment with its unique essence. In Hermeticism, this is considered the great work. As a double emphasis of 1, the number 11 represents heightened awareness and spiritual insight, yet it also contains the essence of 2, since 1 + 1 = 2, the first expression of duality. In this way, 11 becomes a higher octave of 2, reflecting the soul's journey from singularity to mirrored awareness. It is the number of the mirror, a symbol of self-reflection, inner truth, and the recognition of the true self. Justice, as card 11, invites us to look deeply into that mirror and align with what we see. The Justice card is associated with the Hebrew letter Lamed, which means to teach or to learn. Lamed is the only Hebrew letter that rises above the writing line, symbolizing the soul's aspiration to reach higher truth and divine wisdom. It is the teacher's staff, a sign of guidance, discipline, and elevation. Through this letter, Justice becomes the spiritual educator, offering lessons not through abstraction, but through lived experience, consequence, and karmic clarity. On the Tree of Life, Justice corresponds to the 22nd path, which connects Gomvora, the sphere of severity, to Tiferet, the sphere of beauty and harmony. This path reconciles the strict judgment of Gomvora with the radiant compassion of Tiferet. It is the path of karmic adjustment, where divine justice tempers severity with mercy and restores balance to the soul. To walk this path is to learn how to hold both truth and grace, to evolve from reactive judgment into conscious alignment. Justice as Lamed and the 22nd path invites us to rise through accountability, to embody the beauty of balance, and to live in harmony with the laws that govern both spirit and form. Now let's take a closer look at the imagery of the card. At the centre sits a blonde, androgynous woman, a representation of neutrality, balance, and transcendence beyond gender or bias. She is positioned between 2 pillars of polarity, echoing the sacred architecture seen in the High Priestess and the Hierophant cards. These pillars mark the threshold between duality and unity, and Justice sits poised between them, embodying the middle path. In her left hand she holds the scales, a symbol of balance, inviting us to weigh our mental and emotional prejudices, our actions, deeds and intentions. In her right hand she lifts the sword of discernment, upright and double-edged. This sword does not merely cut, it consecrates. It severs what is unbalanced, is distorted or misaligned, defending the principle of truth with unwavering clarity. Justice remains perfectly centered. She does not lean toward emotion or sway with opinion. Like a pendulum at rest, she holds the still point of truth, unmoved, impartial, and unwavering. Positioned atop her head, she wears a crown. It echoes the crown of the Tree of Life, Keter, the highest emanation of pure consciousness and etheric truth. The crown holds a square shape, a potent symbol of divine order and structured wisdom. Esoterically, the square represents the four elements, the four directions, and the stability of form, grounding her authority in both cosmic and earthly law. This is not merely a decorative cap, it is the seal of equilibrium, clarity, and purity. Justice wears it as a testament to her role as the conduit of a universal law, reminding us that her judgments are not emotional or arbitrary, but rooted in sacred geometry, spiritual alignment, and the architecture of truth. Her robes are red and green, symbolizing the union of Mars and Venus, action and compassion, fire and healing. These are the energies of the Emperor and Empress working in harmony. When these colours are blended, they form grey, the colour of wisdom and neutrality. We can also see the colour yellow in the background, which is the colour of the element of air, the element of intellect, clarity, and communication. One foot peeks out from beneath her robe, showing she is ready to act. She is poised, self-directed, faithful, confident, and constant. Behind her stretches a purple curtain, linking her visually and symbolically to the Wheel of Fortune, the previous card in the Major Arcana. This curtain, suspended between the pillars, hints at her role as guardian of the gate. Before we can pass through the veil into deeper mystery, we must be weighed in the balance. We must break through delusions and self-deceptions. Justice does not allow passage without purification. Her pillars remind us that achieving neutrality and a balanced state of mind is essential to entering this portal of ascent, the path of spiritual alignment. Justice is our conscience, guiding us to make the right decisions. She releases the energy and karma of the past and present, enforcing equilibrium across lifetimes. Her path manifests opportunities to learn, to integrate, and to blend both physical and spiritual aspects of our being. She reminds us we are spiritual divine beings. In the Egyptian tradition, the halls of justice were presided over by the goddess Mahut, the embodiment of truth, cosmic order, and divine balance. Her symbol, the white feather, represented purity, righteousness, and the soul's alignment with universal law. In the journey through the underworld, the deceased would undergo a sacred life review, releasing physical regrets and emotional burdens. At the heart of this ritual was the weighing of the soul. The heart of the deceased was placed on one side of the scale, Mahut's feather on the other. If the heart was as light as the feather, free from distortion, deception, and imbalance, the soul could pass into the afterlife. Thoth, the scribe of the gods, recorded the outcome, while the deceased stood before the 42 divine judges, confessing their truths and revealing their story. In this moment, the heart itself became the witness. It knew what was true. This mythic rite echoes the core lesson of the Justice card: to live a life of integrity, to release what weighs us down, and to align with the laws of karma and cause and effect. Justice teaches that only through purity of intention and accountability can the soul move forward. The esoteric title of this card is the Daughter of the Lords of Truth and the Ruler of Balance. This designation speaks to her divine lineage and sacred function. As the Daughter of Truth, she carries a legacy of cosmic law, not man-made judgment, but the eternal principles that govern soul evolution. As ruler of balance, she holds the scales between worlds, ensuring that all energies are weighed, adjusted, and aligned. Her title affirms that she is not merely a judge, but a guardian of equilibrium, born from truth and devoted to its preservation. Now let's take a look at the astrological correspondences of this card. The Justice card is aligned with the element of air, specifically through the sign of Libra, the cardinal air archetype that initiates balance, truth, and relational harmony. Libra governs the 7th house, which rules partnerships of all kinds, from romantic unions to business contracts, emphasizing fairness, reciprocity, and sacred agreement. As an active air sign, Libra seeks refined equilibrium, not just peace, but peace born of clarity and mutual respect. Justice inherits this desire for harmony, but she does not compromise truth to achieve it. She is ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, love, and natural order, which infuses her with a sense of grace and aesthetic alignment. Through Venus, Justice reminds us that true balance is not rigid, it is elegant, fluid, and rooted in both inner and outer harmony. The core meanings of this card are alignment with truth, discernment, and accountability. It invites us to take responsibility for our thoughts, words, and actions, and to live in integrity with both universal and worldly law. Justice reminds us that every choice carries weight, and that equilibrium is achieved through conscious decision-making and inner clarity. In its shadow aspect, justice can manifest as harsh judgment, rigidity, or moral superiority. It may reveal dualistic thinking, seeing only right or wrong, or poor decisions made from emotional bias or avoidance of truth. These distortions show us where we've lost neutrality and where we need to restore balance. Yet justice also offers healing. She facilitates karmic adjustment, bringing revelations and consequences, not to punish but to purify. Through her we learn that forgiveness is a powerful force, not a bypass but a rebalancing. Justice helps us release the energetic residue of past actions and restore harmony within ourselves and our relationships. She teaches that healing comes through truth and that equilibrium is the soul's path forward. And so the Fool has met with Justice and learned the sacred weight of choice, that truth is not a sword to wield, but a mirror to behold. The Fool has released the burdens of the past and walked forward lighter, wiser, and awake. Now the Fool approaches the Hanged Man, not with haste, but with a hush. Here the path no longer moves forward, but inward. Time slows and the world turns upside down, and the Fool must learn to surrender and to hang in the stillness. Join me next as we step into the quiet surrender of the Hanged Man.